everybody, Kissy Bug here, and good afternoon to you all. Today I'm going to talk about the Duggars. Yes, the Duggars. Last night I watched a lot of stuff about them, and one of those things where their brother, and son, decided to try to fondle the girls when they were little. Technically, it was molestation. The parents say that the children, or the girls rather, were asleep when this first started happening and that their son was 14 years old. Now, I understand being curious and going through puberty and having a lot of those hormones going on, but there's a fine line that you don't cross, and you definitely don't do that to your siblings. So I guess the parents had put him in some kind of church rehab type deal to try to get him better, and also felt that they need to report it to the cops. The cop that they talked to later on was found guilty of having child pornography on his computer. The parents say they had no idea that he was doing that, and that they didn't know the officer personally. They just went to the police station and had their son confess. And I guess that was in order to kind of teach him a lesson. It ended up backfiring years later when these records from the police station were released or leaked to the public, and the public found out about it. So then there was this whole outrage about him doing this, and it's very similar to the situation with Lambkin, where he was a little boy, like 10 or 11, when he supposedly had done stuff to his sisters. And I know that this happens in a lot of families, but it's not like released to the public. It's something the families deal with personally. But the Duggars became a household name because of the mom constantly giving birth, and eventually she was trying to have 20 kids, and one of those kids passed away. Now, I understand that there's a lot of religions that don't believe in using contraceptives. I kind of felt like she was just used as a breeding machine. They made money off of that. Children were on camera, and you all know how I feel about kids being on camera. I have spoke out about that so many times. This was for national TV. This wasn't a YouTube thing. I mean, we all know who the Duggars are. And if you don't, you're living under a rock. But I feel like there's a lot of abuse there because of the children being exploited on camera. I don't know if the father pushes the mom to have a bunch of babies. Some fathers are like that. But all the same, it's all disgusting. I never really cared for the show because of the fact that that stuff goes on. It's wrong and it's disgusting. However, the whole situation with Josh, their older son, I feel like there's times where something shouldn't be released to the public. The family was trying to deal with what he had done. They claimed that after going through all that, it changed him and he was no longer like that. After the police reports were released, the public felt that since he had children of his own, since he had gotten married, that he had the potential to do it again. Do I believe people can change if they get help? Absolutely. And he went to a licensed counselor. That's what they had said in one of the videos. If they had taken care of the situation, and yeah, they reported it to the cops, which I think is a good thing because children have to learn that there are consequences, and the father felt that was necessary. So he did it. But the public still was not happy. The public didn't care. The public decided to trash them and let them have it. Now, if the public for national TV could do that, what's the difference for people speaking out on YouTube for the same purposes? I think just like the public had for the national television thing with the Duggars, we should have that right on YouTube as well to talk about public figures. Now, y'all can support that public figure, or y'all can start looking for abuse patterns in the videos and want to speak out. I realize maybe some of you don't know what abuse patterns look like because you haven't been through abuse, but for those of us who have, were speaking out the truth, and we shouldn't be condemned about it. The public was not condemned about speaking out about Josh and the Duggar family. They were allowed to speak their minds and share their thoughts, whether they were nasty or if they were kind. But all the same, no one stopped the public for speaking out. YouTube should be the same way. It is freedom of speech, and everybody has the right to share their thoughts. Don't have to agree with them, by no means, but you have no right to try to silence people because, again, when this whole thing blew up in the Duggars' face, they couldn't silence the public. The public still spoke. The public was outraged and angry. Even though at the time this occurred, he was a child. Now, I think that in some senses, children know right for wrong. And what he did was wrong, yes. Maybe at the time, being 14 years old and going through puberty and stuff like that, he was just curious. But he did realize that he had messed up and it wasn't okay. So he took it upon himself to tell his parents what he was doing. That's why the parents went and got help for Josh and did what they could do to try to get him to stop doing that, because it takes a lot of courage for a child to come to their parent and say, hey, I was doing something that I shouldn't be doing and I need help. Stop condemning children for things that they do because they're children. Now, in the case of Lampkin and his sisters, that family did not set up any boundaries for those kids to understand that it wasn't right what they were doing, such as messing with the sisters out of curiosity or barging in on your parents. There was absolutely no boundaries set. But I feel like, the YouTube community needs to stop condemning Lampkin for what he had done as a child. As an adult, he tries to live right. He's trying very hard. Yeah, he messes up. We all know that. And when he does, it's public. We owe it to him to give him a chance. Because, yes, he has an addiction. And he will mess up. But he needs help with that. But all the same, I'm proud of him for trying to stay sober. That is not easy. And if he messes up, he needs encouragement to keep trying. And addiction's hard. It's very hard. I don't know what y'all think about the Duggars. Personally, I don't care to really watch them. Although, I do like the sisters. I think the sisters are awesome. They love their brother. They have forgiven him. In Lampkin's family, it's not like that. Even though he had the sins of messing up as a child, maybe he didn't realize it was okay or not okay. We don't have a right to hold a grudge and condemn a child for their actions that they may have made as a child. Well, speaking of an adult now, but at the time, he was a child. And this happens in a lot of homes. This isn't just a select few of people. Anyways, that's my thoughts on everything today, guys. I'm going to let you all go. Feedback is always welcome. Love you all lots. Talk to you later. Bye.